Alrighty, guys. So we'll have a quick look at some meme coins. We'll look at some altcoins as well. I just want to, again, I want to touch on this quite regularly, like how I go about finding some trades if I have some time. So obviously, I hope to be full-time next week. Just hopefully, fingers crossed, we get one of our applications approved for our rental properties. But so what I've got on the screen right now, I just need to move it to my other monitor. Just a sec. All right, there we go. Sweet. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Feel free to ask me any questions at any times, any charts you want to request, those types of things you can. Just put in the chat or feel free to unmute. More than happy to do that, guys. First, I just want to touch on how I like to trade at the moment. Like, you can go into the trenches and like chance your bet, right? Like, but only 1.5% of all tokens that are created graduate. So that's like a crazy percentage, right? And then obviously within that graduation process, I would say less than 0.5% get to 500K and less than 0.1% get to a million or more. So as you can see here, like in the past, like what's this, couple of hours, there's only a few that are above 100K. A lot of these still graduate and then dump to zero. So again, you want to be trading where the probability is in your court, right? And so yes, look, there's a place for trenches, which is very much a gambling. If you can follow some like Twitter accounts that are going to say certain things, then that's amazing, because then obviously you can get really quick alpha and find some crazy plays in here and then obviously get in nice and early. But majority of the time, you can't really do that. You're gambling down in here. So what we do like to do is come to like Dex Screener, right? And then look at top volume. So I come to Dex Screener, just click on Solana. You can look at new listings, okay? Or you can come to top volume. So I like to always come to top volume and then look for swing trades. So this one right now, this is obviously based around that whole AI sort of stuff. So Truth Terminal's first tweet. And if I do have a look at it, essentially what we're looking for is, again, that favorite play of ours. So we missed the first rally, which is fine. Okay. So this rally has gone all the way to, what's that? Like probably over a mil, if not multiple mils. But anyways, but like if we have a look, yeah, it's like, yeah, 12%. Yeah, so quite a lot. So 1.2 mil, right? And what we are currently seeing is that this is a channel, right? So we've got support down below. So support is where price bounces, okay? And then we've got resistance up the top. So that's essentially where price is respecting and cannot break above. So this is, in theory, a bull flag, okay? So you've got price coming up, you've got a deep bull flag. Now, what we would like to see is obviously potentially a bounce here at the 0.786, okay? So that's ideally what we're looking for. Whether that actually comes or not, we'll have to wait and see on this particular trade. But I'm not going to take it just because I just want to educate on this one particularly. So that's just all I want to say. Like I then go to the second token. I look at, again, high volume, because volume is key when you're trading swings. Okay, if something doesn't have a lot of volume, okay, so this one has $5 million worth of volume, then likely it's going to take time to trade, or it's going to flop because it doesn't have enough volume to take it higher. So if we do take a look at this one, from the low to the all-time high, okay, or obviously that's from the low of when it was created, but if we go all the way to just above price action where it was released, okay, let's just see. So this one's already broken down below a fib. Okay, I'm not interested in that. Now, Shoggoth, I think that's that one that is absolutely rallied. Yep. So for me, this is something that I avoid, right? It's much easier to get a 2x on a meme coin that's under $1 million compared to a meme coin that's at 33 million. And again, guys, look, if you look at this chart, this is top blasting. This isn't trading. This is gambling, buying an absolute top. We don't trade like that, okay? We like to trade during dips. And if you do look at dips, there's opportunities always. So the first dip, look at that, okay? The first dip from the first rally, which is where I love to find meme coins, to that first high, and look where it bounced, guys, at the 886. Set a higher low. It also set a low at the 786. So why fade Fibonacci if you can trade like that? Okay, and again, if you did pull out and do it at higher levels, it would be the same, okay? If you caught that, okay, it dipped into the shallow pocket, so the shallow golden pocket, and then rallied again. So we always like to use Fibonacci levels to track our meme coins, right? So that's all I just want to say. I then go to the next one. Orange, did you create this token? I don't know if you're in the chat. He's probably not in the chat, but yeah, like I then come here, I look at top volume, and then I keep going. Okay, that's an obvious pump chart. I'm not going to buy into something like that. Okay, so I do that to maybe the top 15, 20 tokens until I find something that I like. Okay, the alternative is you can come to Solana on Dex Screener, you go to the top, you click new pairs, guys. You go to newest, okay, and you rank it by age. So as you can see, there's heaps dropping. Now, this is a lot safer because traditionally what we see is a liquidity pool is already created. So that means that people have dedicated some of their money, okay, and likely want to at least attempt to push this a bit higher as long as they're not going to rug. Now, immediately some things that you can notice. So you can obviously set some filters over here if you prefer to obviously have more than one maker, okay. If you want to see a certain amount of liquidity in the pool, so maybe a couple thousand. Okay, if you want to have a market cap that's maybe a little bit higher, so 30 to 50K might be the lowest sort of market cap that you're looking at. But as you can see, guys, there's still plenty of options here to be trading. So you don't have to go to the trenches on BullX or Pump.Fun. You can come to the trenches over here on Dex Screener and find some of these really good plays and run them up quite aggressively. So if we do take a look at them though, so anything here that only has one maker, okay, that's an easy fade. You don't even need to look at that. It's likely a rug. This one here, okay, so Chems, it's just dropped, so we can have a look at it right now. We've got 35 makers, we've got liquidity at 30K, you've got market cap at 70K, and you've got 39 buyers. So we're gonna have a look at this one. All right, so we come in here, make sure your chart's all the way down at a minute, or if not a second, because this one was obviously only released recently. And now what we like to do, I like to then take this chart, I then like to apply it into Sol Scanner. So if I do go to Sol Scanner, okay, let's just pull that up. Ideally, I'm going to run these all on my future, what do you call them, monitors once I buy some, if it wants to load for me. Come on, here we go. So I then punch into Sol Scanner, okay. Let me just quit my Brave. So punch it in here, and what I want to see, okay, so this has liquidity is not burnt. So that's the biggest difference, guys, with tokens that you're looking at on Dex Screener compared to BullX or Pump.Fun, okay, that these ones you want to see safety. So this is just this one that we're looking at, okay, so 82K, but as you can see, like Dex Screener even shows you that it's not locked, right? You want to see a full green circle around, you want to see a full green circle around the liquidity here, and that shows me that the liquidity is locked, okay? Whereas now the liquidity isn't locked and Sol Scanner confirms it. So that's why I use Sol Scanner, guys. Some other red flags, okay. Top holders hold 81% of the supply. And if you have a look here, the dev owns 16 or 36%. Okay, they sniped 12.6% as well. They have launched 2 in the past, and that only got to 90K. So this one's probably an easy fade, guys. And that's just a simple way that I go, okay, come back to Dexter and I go, okay, that one's not for me. I then go back to that new pairs and I just wait for a new one to come. And so I'm tracking these new tokens. And then if they obviously have Twitter and socials, and then you dive in and it's a safe contract. So say it has green flags across here, the liquidity's burnt, okay, it's not mintable, okay, it's not freezable, it has no sniping or no airdrops, okay, and it has a low top holder count, then ideally that's probably a token you're going to want to snipe on Dex Screen. So if I think of a token that we did this recently, it was probably a couple of months ago now, but JD Vance, when he got approved as Donald Trump's, whatever you call it, vice president to be guy, I went to Dex Screener instead, and there was a JD Vance here at 400K, and we got into that at 400K, and I checked it. It was super safe, okay, and I got in from Dex Screener. I went to Sol Scanner, checked it. I checked the socials. They had a Twitter account, and we managed to 5x that trade in about 10 minutes. It went from 400K to 2 mil, and we were in and out, and we made a bag on that. So that's a really good, lucrative way to trade that a lot of people don't ever think about, okay? They get obsessed with being in the trenches in BullX and that sort of thing. But you can literally make so much better decisions by coming here where there's actually liquidity pools being created immediately. So I just wanted to touch on that because a lot of people don't think about that as a strategic way to trade these meme coins. So that's how I find early meme coins outside of the trenches. And as I said before, alternatively, just click on Solana over on the side, and then here's your top volume, okay? It's ranked by volume at the moment. As you can see, so these ones are obviously trending on the 6 hours. But again, if you want to find the top volume tokens, click volume, then let's go have a look at fun. And I know a few people in the Discord already made a bag on this one, which is great to see. But if you come over here and have a look, Terminal of Fun, this obviously ran quite aggressively already today. And I'm probably going to fade it because I know that it is. But I mean, it is consolidating here. So then I dive deeper, okay? Are holders increasing, okay? Is it still being bag held by some whales? That type of stuff. Like, is the Twitter account starting to improve? A lot of things, but if we look here, guys, it's probably going to have a breakout. So a breakout could be up or down, depending what price wants to do. So right now, I'm not going to take this trade, but I'm just trying to educate you about how to find active trades when I'm not as active in the group. But hopefully from next week, I'll have a place to live. So yeah, so great question by Notorious Big Bull. So liquidity versus market cap. Any min ratio you look for at? Well, no, not particularly. Like, yeah, you want it to be probably 10 to 1 ideally, but a lot of the time it doesn't get there. Like this one, for example, isn't 10 to 1 as long as there's not big wicks, right? So if you see charts that have these massive wicks off all of candles, okay, that means there's a slippage problem. That means the liquidity isn't sufficient enough for the liquidity that's being traded on this particular meme coin. So you don't want to be seeing big wicks. I don't think I can think of a chart where you see it, but trust me, you'll know. Like this is really nice price action. Yeah, you've still got wicks, but they're bought up or they're sold off. Okay, but you don't want to be seeing these big wicks here on every single candle. That's an easy fade. That generally is where liquidity starts to be a problem on a particular meme coin. So I hope that helps. Yeah, so Baylor just asked about, well, yeah, I'll have a look at altcoins in a sec, but let's just quickly run through some of the, because I've had a few messages about, hey, Greeny, what are some levels to accumulate our top plays? So obviously I'll just run through our top plays, they being like Mog, Whiff, Pepe, Giga, Mumu, those types of things. So if we look at Mog, the way that I would find levels for you to accumulate at, guys, is literally take the low, so grab your fib, okay? I have that fib tutorial, it's in that Memecoin help channel if you need to edit it. Take the fib. Obviously, I put it on price just because I have been swing trading this on leverage. But take the fib, and what you're doing is taking it from the low to the high, okay? And then I would be buying any dip at these levels, okay? So as you would have seen before, we may have seen this one here. So this wick, so from the low to that wick here, we bought, we had a 0.382 retest here, and that's enough of a pullback for me to be happy with that DCA. So that's a pullback of, 25%, right? And then a pump from there is 30%. So that's an easy 30% swing trade, either swing trade or obviously DCA into your spot bag. So use the fib tool, take it from the swing low, okay, to the swing high. And then that's where you can DCA now if you think Mog's going to go to multiple billions, which I probably do think it does. But for me, I like to have those really good risk to reward entries that allows me to out trade a lot of people on the timeline. So for me, Mog, let me just switch it over so I can make it nice and simple for you guys to have a look. But Mog's following this support, so it is quite aggressive. So I would expect it maybe to break this trend eventually if Bitcoin and stuff doesn't continue up or consolidate sideways. But there you go. So for Mog, I'm looking at 660 million. If you see that, that's a steal for a DCA, guys. And then obviously 587 or 512. And as you can see, price reflects these numbers, okay? So Fibonacci, don't fade. It's such an easy tool to use, guys, when trading memes. We'll go to Whiff. So I'll just run through my top plays, guys, at the levels that we want to be looking to accumulate these at. Because I know if people have been away or are only just joining the group, so they want to be making sure that they can get in. I might need to close a couple of tabs because I think it's frozen a little bit. There we go. All right, so same again, guys. We take the swing low to the swing high. Now, ultimately, you can take the low, and I'll just discuss the difference here. So you can take the absolute low. So we can only get to 11 million here. Ideally, I'm on the 3 day. So ideally I can find the absolute low a little bit closer. No, it's not going to let me. So ideally you want to get as close as the low to the top. And then you can, as you can see, price reflects. Look at this. This is from the low to the top. Look at what price is doing, guys. It's literally bouncing off the 0.5 right now from the all-time high to the all-time low. It also didn't fail, or it failed to break above the 382. So this is what I mean. You can swing trade. And this is what I try to do on those lower cap tokens is swing trade from these 0.786 or from support of a wedge, okay, up to these higher fibs. And this is such a consistent strategy. That first fib is a 75% move. The second fib is 130. So that's a 2.3x. The third fib, guys, that's a 2.85x, guys, just by using a simple fib strategy. So right now, I'm looking at, you could probably say Whiff is probably at a good DCA level here at 2.46. Your next DCA would be probably about that 1.886. Now, you can obviously use the all-time high to the all-time low. That's up to you if you'd like to use that. The reason you would use a swing low to a swing high is because price is moving up too aggressive. So more than likely it doesn't revisit those sort of levels. So for example, okay, if I look at this, the swing low. Now the swing low could be this massive low that we created at the start of August, okay? Or it could be the move from the latest move up. So it could be that wick right there, right? So that wick on the 17th of September. Now it's up to you how you want to measure that. All three strategies work. But if we're looking at it from the most aggressive approach where I know that price is starting to move up. It looks like the bull is about to continue on in for the rest of this year and into 2025. Then I like to be more aggressive and take the swing here. And this is how I look for longs then on our altcoins and obviously our meme coins. So what we're looking at right now is the swing low. Okay, so that wick there at 1.43 bill. And again, we were in here at about 1.3 bill, guys. So we're still up over, about a 2x at the moment. But what you're looking at, swing low to swing high. And then that's where you start to accumulate, okay? 2.39 bill is where I'd set a limit. I'd set it on MEXC or Blowfin without leverage. Or you can obviously apply some low leverage into these trades. So I might even looking to potentially look at WIF. Now, the one thing about meme coins is that you can take it one step further, right? And you can come to holder scan and you can start to check, okay, are people still accumulating Solana? Or are people still accumulating WIF? So let's go have a look. So I then use the fibs as levels. Okay, that's where I'm going to become interested. And then I want to use the fundamentals and see, okay, are people still aping into WIF? Are people still interested? Are people still talking about it on the timeline? And for example, I know Ansem still loves this token. So I know people probably are still talking about it. But if you do take a look, okay, it's still got green on most of the time, okay? And again, yes, it has some red, but it's very small percentage. So 0.04, 0.08, whereas on the week, we're up 0.5, right? So in theory, we're only down, we're about up 0.45%, right, for the week. So that shows me there's enough strength there to continue moving forward. And again, the one thing about WIF too, is its market cap to holders is very high. It's at 13,000. So you want to see green along here. As soon as you maybe start to see red across here, and I'll show you Moondeg, for example, that's where you might want to cut that trade. So I know we're in the Moondeg long, and I'm still confident in that trade because the risk to reward's good. But if we do look at Moondeg, guys, this is what I mean. Like it's not looking too good, all right? So that's what I mean. There's a big difference between Moondeg and then something like this, right? And WIF, okay? But that's what I'm talking about. So you want to use the fibs as these are your levels to accumulate. So 2.4 bill, 2.2, 2.02 are levels that you could just set limits in Pepe Boost, okay? And then just, or BullX, okay? Obviously, wherever you're trading. And you can sign up for either of those in the official links tab. But yeah, you set those limits and just be happy with those DCAs. You're never going to time the top. You're never going to time the bottom. But what you can do is use TA to effectively manage your risk and get into better entries because it's entries that kills people's trades every single day in meme coins. So that's the levels we're looking at WIF. So we've looked at MOG, we looked at WIF. Let's look at Giga. Now Giga is obviously sent to 600 mil. Let me just be a little bit more cautious there. But what we're looking at is obviously like, yeah, this is like, I drew this yesterday. So again, like you can see that it's still price still reflects different trading setups, even if it is at all-time highs. So obviously we were in here, guys. We got in at about 130 mil. So we're up, I don't even know what that is, like 4x now. And this goes way higher. But I mean, it's now respected this, broken out of this trend. But again, if you look at your swing low, okay, so I'm still taking from that swing. So you could say now, because we consolidated up here a little bit higher for a while, you could say the swing low is from 224, okay, and the all-time high. And then, so it looks like I would probably say I'd DCA into anything as a retest of this breakout. So that's about 488 mil. Anyway, and then all these fibs, I would accumulate Giga down here. Now, a few things, right? This probably goes to multiple billions just because it has narrative, it has liquidity. And what I want to show you is that it has an insane amount of holders, right? And if I look at holder scan, Giga and MOG are by far the biggest green holders every single week. It is crazy how many people buy Giga and MOG every single week. It is genuinely unbelievable. So if you have a look here, like this is 16%, guys. This is 16% on a meme coin that's worth 700 mil nearly, or 600 mil. But look at this. You want to see green, green, green. So this is why I'm so bullish on something like Giga and MOG, because they just fundamentally have so much more going for them. They're an easy cult-like community. Their engagement's really high on Twitter. You've got top accounts talking about them. You've got market cap to holders at 20,000 per person. You've got new holders stepping in every day. The TA on something like Giga is just instrumental. Okay, it always dips, and then new buyers step in, new whales step in, and accumulate this. So until it does break this trend, right? And if we do look at the monthly, like this is a crazy chart. Like that's the weekly, but if you look at the monthly, it has never had a red month, guys. So I mean, it's pretty crazy to look at that. If I like the one I want to compare it to is MOG. Now, MOG's obviously a lot older and consolidated for a longer period of time. So let's have a look at MOG's monthly chart. But again, guys, like these look really healthy. Like that's beautiful price action. So pump up, consolidate, pump up, consolidate, pump up. Ideally make a new all-time high here, consolidate. That's what you want to see in price action, okay? That's healthy price action. So that's MOG, that's Gig, that's WIF. Pepe is another one. And I'm still bullish on these four. These four still remain probably my top conviction spot portfolio meme coins. I do own a little bit of Popcat and Ponky as well. But again, Pepe here, again, look, like Pepe is probably reaching areas where you could probably DCA into this and be happy with it. So like, yeah, anywhere below 4.1 bill, okay, 3.83, 3.5. And again, that's the swing low to the swing high. And that's where I'm looking for accumulation of those. Let's go to Ponky. And let's go to Popcat next. If it wants to load in. Alrighties, here we go. Yeah, so again, like this, it consolidated for months, guys. And that's like a lot of those charts did, which is good to see. Like you want to see consolidation for months, all right? Like in theory, you could probably draw that wedge there too. So this is Ponky, and we consolidated literally from May all the way down here to October. So that's great. Like that's great price action. Pump up, consolidate. Okay, so it's done like periodically. Pump up, consolidate. Pump up, consolidate, and that sort of thing. But if you hold the trend, guys, in the right tokens, this continues up. So Ponky, like now, guys, I'm going to take the macro low to the macro high. You could probably accumulate if it does get back down to the low 200s. Again, if you want to be a bit more risk on, okay, the swing low to the swing high, we obviously have respected these the 0.382 and the 0.5 as well. So the 220 and the 206. So anything below 220 is probably a nice DCA entry for Ponky. If we go to Popcat, and then we'll look at Apu and Mumu. I know I have to remember all these trades as well. So if we come have a look, I mean, Popcat looks insane. Like I'm so grateful we caught the dip to 1.1 bill. But I mean, like, yeah, same again, like the swing low to the swing high. Again, if you want to be more risk on, you could call this a macro consolidation phase here from that week in September or 2 weeks here in September to October. But for me, I probably am happy just with the DCA at this dip here we caught. But yeah, right now I'm watching this, holding this, a small bag of it. I'd like more, but I'm happy with the bag I've got. This likely goes to, yeah, multiple billions, if not tens of billions of dollars. We'll go to Apu. Now, Apu's one that I probably wouldn't touch, guys, because again, we were in at 60 mil. So like we're up 4x, guys. Like this is not a chart that you want to be ideally DCAing in. If you're in, you're in. If not, look for the next opportunity that potentially runs up like this. So Fog's another one that comes to mind. Again, if you see pullbacks on FWOG, and we talked about this in the group recently as well, like FWOG and Giga had very similar consolidation patterns. They broke up, made new all-time highs, consolidated, and then dips were eaten up on FWOG, and it's now obviously setting new all-time highs as well. So again, like this is classic price action. So price up there. So see if it comes back down, retest this region here. Below 200 for FWOG is likely a good buy, guys. And again, you can take it from the swing low those wicks there. So as you can see, where did it bounce from, guys? Where's the wick? It's right off the 3.82 fib. So that's why I use fibs. So yeah, 217 for FWOG is probably a good buy. 205, okay, retest of the breakout zone at around 198 and then 193. So yeah, those are your areas. Again, like if Bitcoin decides to do a bigger pullback, then likely memes have a larger pullback. And like we've always said in the group, guys, buying fear is the way that we like to go, and selling greed. Whenever you're euphoric, sell some greed. I know a few members have joined recently, and one member had made, I don't know, 400K. He messaged me about, I won't name names, and he made 400K on GOAT and then round tripped. Oh no, sorry, on Non. And then round tripped it all the way back. Still made a bag, like still made 6 figures from memory. But yeah, he round tripped $500,000 because he was just so euphoric. And like, this is why I stress it, guys, because nothing can go up forever, right? Just take 5% off in clips, okay? From every now and then, just take 5% clips and be a happy man or a happy lady that you have taken profits. Mumu's one that comes to memory. As well, again, we DCA'd this hard at the 110 mil region. So we're up in all of our trades. And sometimes, guys, being less aggressive, being less active is sometimes the best trades to take, is to come back, just reevaluate your bags. Are you happy with some of the bags you're in? If you're not happy, cut it. Don't be afraid to cut it and look for a better play. So, oops, I clicked on the chart. If we come back now, after this, I will look at some more degen trades, and then I will go to CAS because I know that was requested. But if we look, so again, swing low to swing high, you could probably say the macro swing would probably be that wick there from about the 88 mil mark to there. So Moom is at a good DCA level here at a 143 mil. Okay, and anywhere below there is probably likely a good area. Our two most recent trades that I'm very bullish on, I have a feeling that Selfie and Sigma get listed on some exchanges soon. I know someone in the group, I can't remember who it was. I think it could have been Penguin. I'm not 100%, but someone was mentioning that one of these was going to get listed. So I do think maybe both of them get listed, but this is still a very nice cup and handle. It's probably not the best cup and handle I've drawn ever, but essentially you're looking at a cup and handle like this, okay? Like that is textbook cup and handle as long as this low holds here probably. Generally, we want to see a bull flag, which in theory we do have a bull flag there as the handle. So yeah, I'm still happy holding this. We are down a little bit. So again, if you aren't in Selfie, this is still a good area. Anywhere below, between 26 and 30 mil, likely a good DCA. And if you do look at Selfie holders as well, guys, it's aggressive. Like that's another reason that I took the trade. A lot of people are buying this because I do think it might get listed. Like, look at that, like 7% up on the week, 5% in the 3 days. Okay, not about, you want to be in a token like that. Okay, market cap holders is starting to move up. Okay, 3,000 is very good for a token that's only in the 30 mil, the 20 mil region. Top 10 holders only 13%, so that's really good. If we look at Sigma as well, guys, and have a look at it, it's the same sort of thing. It's another strong, that next leg up. Like these ones could easily run to a couple of 100 mil. So again, this is a great DCA entry, guys, here for Sigma at 44 mil. So anything below 44 mil is likely a good area to accumulate. So this is what you want to see. Like we caught this trade and I was a lot more aggressive. I took a lot of trade profit on these. We could have swing traded and held a lot higher. We could have made, this ran up so much. Like I don't even know what that math is. Like is that a 20x? Yeah, 20x from there that we were in, guys. But this is again opportunity. So this likely consolidates here, right? For a bit longer. So this likely is potentially like a wedge playing out again. So, I mean, in all seriousness, this could come back to 20 mil, guys. And if it does, amazing, I'll buy it at 20 mil. But I'm happy buying it here as well. And if we do look at Sigma holders, they're also going through the roof. So what you want to be thinking about is which tokens are going to be the next ones that get listed on these exchanges. So I know Gecko got jumped on exchanges recently as well. So something like this likely gets bought up as well. So look at that, 14% on the week, 6.28 as well. Like you've got green across the board, okay? And it's just, again, you always want to compare it to other memes, right? And these ones like Selfie and Sigma, very strong. But again, look how weak they are compared to Giga and something like MOG, right? So SBX and Bitcoin are probably the last two that we'll look at, guys, in terms of long-term DCA bags. Again, if you're only jumping in now, I have recorded it and I'll post it in there, put it on YouTube, and make sure you guys can get to it. Sexy, how are you, mate? Thanks for tuning in. Excellent, good. What time is it there? One and the other. Yeah, because you're up till like 4 a.m. It's ridiculous, mate. Yeah. Yeah, no, very, very true. I need to, like, once I have a place to rent, I will definitely probably be spending some late nights up as well. Brittany asked, is Sigma still an entry today? Yeah, Sigma and Selfie both are valid entries today, and if they go lower, I will be DCing into them. So SPX here, guys, consolidating. Like I said to you before, like it hasn't consolidated at all in this rally, so it needed to consolidate, and we caught that first dip. We caught this dip here at 460 mil, nailed that entry, and right now I wait to see what happens with macro to see whether this breaks up or down. But this is at a good DCA. If you're not into SPX, this is probably a good DCA. Ideally, you might get a retest of the 0.382 as well, guys. So that 565 mil region could be a really good entry, which is the bottom of support here. So likely it probably heads there if BTC doesn't pump too aggressively today or tomorrow. So yeah, keep an eye on that. But yeah, SPX is probably at a good level here. If we look at SPX holders, let's go have a look. It's probably as strong as MOG and Giga as well, guys. I haven't looked at it for a while. Yeah, again, like don't fade something like that. Dips in SPX is an absolute steal. So SPX is valid for entry as well, guys, today, right now for DCA. Look, you could leverage a couple of these plays, but I probably don't want to at the current point of time, guys. So I will be looking at some of those altcoin plays and pullbacks. We've just pushed up, like BTC Like we printed on Sexy short, which was great. But obviously that's now pumped above, and we'll look at macro in a minute, guys. But yeah, so Bitcoin probably 300 mil. That's not a bad DCA. So if you take the low, okay, so I'm taking the swing low to the swing high, guys, from the whole position move. Like we were in at 123, so a little bit higher. I think it was that one there. But yeah, you can take it from that low and accumulate here. As you can see, price is reflecting and respecting that level again. So that 382. So anything below 300 mil for Bitcoin is very good. Let's check its holders as well. Bitcoin holders, there we go. And if we have a look there, and then we'll move over to macro, which is good timing from Sexy because he might be able to pitch in as well. But yeah, no, Bitcoin still looks good here, guys. Harry Potter, Obama Sheen. I can't even remember how to bloody say it. But yeah, no, we got green across the board. You got good levels here across the board as well. So no, that looks good. Now I'll do CAS because that was requested, and let me just pull that one up. All right. No, you're welcome, Mo. And again, this is replay. I'll put in the live stream channel. And just a reminder why there's a heap of people here too. Tomorrow morning, I'm doing Australia time, so in about 12 hours time, I'll be doing that portfolio management live stream. And so if you're someone that is a little bit like unsure about how to manage portfolio, if you have more money, or if you have less money, if you're unsure because you're allocating, say you only have like $5,000 to trade with and you're allocating $4,000 into each meme coin trade, you definitely should attend tomorrow's live stream because we will be talking about how important it is to manage a portfolio and consistently trade, guys. It's where people fail consistently is not having a trading plan. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware of how to do that. All right, Cass, and then I might hand over to Sexy for a little bit and I might have a little break. Dude, Cass is steaming. Oh my Lord. Oh no, this is a 15-minute chart. Hold up, let me zoom out. Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, so Cass pretty much like as Aussie predicted for, like Aussie's been nailing his shorts just quietly. So if we have a look here, yeah, so literally this is long-term support. So this is probably a good DCA for Cass, guys. If you don't have Cass in your portfolio, you're happy with, or you want to have exposure to the Casper, which is like, if anything, I probably say it's a competitor to Bitcoin in terms of what its approach and technology is as well. But this is probably a really good DCA area. Like you're down quite nicely. You're down, 40%. Like that's a good steal for a token that's up a lot. Like, oh man, I should have just held this from 2022. Oh, well, that's life. But yeah, again, you can take the fib. Okay, so fibs from all-time low to all-time high. The way that I like to obviously trade, we have set a new low here actually, which is interesting. This is on the daily, but if we zoom out to the weekly, I mean, you got bullish divergence here too, down on the daily. So likely that's why it is bouncing off support. And again, we did touch support, so that's an absolute steal. And Aussie did say about that 12.5 cents level is a good steal for Casper. So yeah, probably still valid here at about 13.5 as well. It is one of the most outperforming tokens today on my list at least. So no, not a bad little play. But again, this probably looks like it's in a broader range like this. Okay, so that's its resistance above. That's its support. So keeping an eye on it. Let's just look at momentum. Momentum is on the weekly is starting to maybe get to levels where it does look for a reversal soon. Probably doesn't crack out of this for a while. Like this could, look at that. Like it could go to March 2025 before we see this consolidation phase end, which is good. Like, cause I mean, it ran up so aggressively. Like this token was 100 mil when I first saw it. Like, where are we at? Like, look at that. That's 23,000x if I had just held from 2022. But hey, that's all right. You can't win them all. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Baylit as well.